actually, before I share the song, what I want to do with you guys is, so I think Pandora introduced me. I'm an acupuncturist. And I thought I got inspired because there's a few points along the chest here, along what we call the kidney channel. It goes to the kidney organ, but the meridians in Chinese medicine circulate throughout the body. And the kidney channel ends here, like right below the collarbone. And these points, these upper last 4 points of this channel, all mention spirit in their name. And actually the first one that we're going to talk about is literally translates to spirit burial, or another book I have translates it to wild lands of the spirit. So, but most people, I think the more common translation is spirit burial. And so I was like, oh my gosh, this is a really perfect connection to Day of the Dead. And so I don't know if any of you know the tapping. I think it's emotional freedom technique, EFT tapping, and it's like here and here, and it's really great for anxiety, depression. Some people do it every day. I've kind of done it on and off throughout my life, but so if any of you are familiar with those points, and then it ends here, I think it's here. And so one of these points is actually this acupuncture point that we're going to talk about today. And they're all actually acupuncture points, which I didn't even know when I first started practicing that, the tapping. So they're all based on traditional acupuncture points. And the one right below the collarbone, that's the one that is on the kidney channel that we're going to talk about today. So all 4 of these points, like I said, they all are spirit points. I think for 2 reasons. Like we call it Shen in Chinese medicine, but basically it's spirit. Shen, spirit are interchangeable. And the Shen resides in the heart. And it's similar, I think, in other traditions. And so the chest, the heart, this region, and I think that's why these points at the end of the kidney channel are so are named for spirit. And also it's the lungs, and it's breath of life. And a lot of times the emotion connected to the lungs is grief or sadness. So when somebody we love dies, we passing. And so, Day of the Dead, like that famous song, La Lorna, I'm sorry, my Spanish, but there's a lot of songs in Spanish, and it's just this woman just weeping and crying. And I think if you go to Mexico or some of the more traditional celebrations of Day of the Dead, I think it's not uncommon to see people in the streets just like wailing and crying, and especially at funerals. And so in Chinese medicine, that grief and sadness and loss is the emotion of the lungs. And on a physiological level, these points, most of them, they treat conditions of the lungs, basically, and any kind of like local like chest tightness. So I would say like they're great points for anxiety, because sometimes when we have anxiety attacks or panic attacks, we get this tightness in the chest. So all 4 of these points are very similar in that they treat the lungs, although the first point that we're going to work on is just above the breast. So that point actually also benefits the breasts as well, just because of its geographical location. And so I'm just going to real quickly go through these. So the first point, and so we're going to start, what we're going to do is I'm going to teach you a really simple song, and we're going to sing it together. And as we sing it, we're going to tap along these points as we sing. And so basically, I mean, these points fall between the rib spaces, but your fingers will kind of naturally fall into those spaces. Don't worry about being exact, but they fall between the ribs, and that's kind of this meridian goes along those spaces. And then they're like, this is our midline, so they're about, I don't know, like 3 fingers width apart, like out from the midline. So it's kind of through here. So a little bit off the midline. And the first point, like I said, it's called spirit burial or wild lands of spirit. And this is a point where And then there's like the physical nature of these points in treatment that I mentioned with the lungs, but then there's also sort of spiritual, emotional treatment that these points are used for. And so this point is the point where our inner being and our own spirit can be revived. So through this point, we can access the deeper recesses of our soul, especially helpful during life's challenges. So from the dregs of life, our spirit is reunited with life again. So spirit burial. And then
where is that point? I'm sorry to interrupt.
So yeah, so it's going to be right
Show
above
us.
Okay, so it's going to be right above the breast line, and they're all going to be in a line together. So it's kind of about half, like here's your midline, and then it's like maybe 2 or 3 fingers over from the midline, and it's going to be actually on both sides. So most of our meridians, unless they're down the midline, they're like a mirror image of them on both sides of the body. So this line is coming up through here, and then it's going to end at the clavicle. So it's, and you don't, like I said, you don't have to be exact, but it's going to be like your finger will kind of naturally fall in a space that's between the ribs. And so we're just going to go up this line basically. So it's not the midline, it's just a little bit out from the midline, and we're starting just above the chest or the breasts. And we have a gentleman here. So we're just kind of going up here. We're going to stop at the collarbone, like right below the collarbone, actually. And so we have 4 points there that we're focusing on today. So then 25, the next one up, is going to be in that next space between the ribs along that same line. And this point is called Spirit Storehouse. So this point, the spirit comes to feed. And so in this way, in Chinese medicine, we're talking about the patient spirit. But tonight for Day of the Dead, we're also talking about other spirits. So the spirit or spirits come here to feed on what it needs to be revived again. When we are still, everything around us has spirit, and the spirits are showing us what we're searching for. So we're revived, and maybe we come out of a period of grief or loss, and then we're revived again, and what we're searching for in life is revealed to us through spirit or through multiple spirits. This point also gives us nourishment through dreams and visions. So like I said, these points are really all about spirit. I mean, you can treat the lungs as well, but on a spiritual, emotional level, these points are used a lot for those things. And then the next point, same line, next between the rib spaces, is 26. So each time you're going up about, maybe, like a thumb's width, which is like your rib, so that you go into that next crevice. But like I said, if it's hard to you're like, I think I have it, I'm not sure, it's totally fine. So 26, kidney 26, is center of elegance. This point signifies a place within us where our spirit is filled with life, beauty, and hope. The inner beauty we experience at this point gives hope to our visions. This point allows us to experience the beauty we have each within us. Here we experience our own wholeness, enabling us to see what we cannot see in the darkness. So from darkness comes light. And this point can also be very centering, hence it's called center of elegance. So it's like a grounding point in the sense that it's centering. So it's just bringing us into the center, and we're filled again with that sense of hope and beauty and gratitude for life and beauty. And
so are these all in the same spot? It seems like you're pointing to the same place.
They're on the same line. Let me see. You know what? Hold on. Let me grab something. I'm trying to think if I have a string or something. Oh, I know. Okay.
Sorry to get technical.
No, that's okay. I should have been ready with
I want to know where it is.
So okay, sorry.
This is intense. I got to know where these points are.
I know. Okay, so imagine a line. So these points are on a line, which is this point, this meridian starts at the bottom of the foot between the first and second toes. and then it's coming all the way up the leg, all the way up the abdomen. And then when it gets to the chest, it's about here. So here's our midline here, and then it's a little bit off of our midline.
But they're mirroring points on both sides of the.
And they're mirroring on both sides. Yeah.
And they're both for the same thing, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So unless we have a channel that's on the midline, the organ channels will mirror each arm, whether they're on an arm or a leg. It's going to be the same on each leg and each arm. Exactly. So, on this line that we've created, just above the breast, we're going to start with the first point, and then the second one's going to be next crevice between the ribs, and then again the next crevice, and then we end in the space between the collarbone and the first rib. And you're just kind of coming up that line, and yeah, both sides are going to be a mirror image of each other. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I might be able to pull up a quick, I don't want to take up too much time here. I should have had it, but yeah, I mean, maybe I'll email everybody or have Pandora email everybody like an image so that you guys have like a visual. But you could also just look up kidney channel acupuncture points, and you'll see it, like the channel runs along the chest right here. And I don't know if any of you have done the EMF tapping or EFT tapping. So this last point that we just talked about, that's one of the points. It's like right below the collarbone. And so
which one was the spiritual? Which one was you said, was it the second or third one that you mentioned, the spiritual thing?
I can actually share my screen, I guess. But yeah,
I'll stop asking questions. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I love it. I'm
sorry.
Like, I'm ready to teach. No, that's okay. I know, and I hope that I'm explaining things, but I know it's like probably it's more in depth than I thought I was gonna go. But I mean, and then all this stuff, I went there though. I was like, oh, and this, and I can share this. So the first point, the 24, is called spirit burial or wild lands of spirit. And then the second point, kidney 25, is spirit storehouse. And then kidney 26 is center of elegance. And then, we haven't talked about the last point, the one that ends right below the collarbone. So that one is vital transfer of the palace treasury. And this point is sort of this palace treasury, it's transferring to us, so we can use this point to restore our reserves. So when we've gone through something particularly challenging, and when we just need to get that boost again and revive ourselves, and kind of like coming back from the dead, you could say. So we receive a vital transfer of creativity and vitality at this point, which is, I think it's a pretty powerful point, and it's the last point on this channel. And so in Chinese medicine, sometimes the last points of the channel, it's the idea is you're freeing something from the entire channel, like trauma or stored energy in the body, or you can drain something from the body through these endpoints on the channels. And so I'm thinking that's probably why whoever developed the tapping, the EFT tapping, they chose to include this point, because it's a pretty powerful point. In that respect, and you're kind of bringing yourself back to life and getting those juices flowing again. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. And so I just, Pandora was like, oh, share a song, and I couldn't find a song that worked and that was simple enough for both me and you guys to learn in time for tonight. So that's sort of where all this kind of came up. And I just thought, wow, the tapping is really powerful, but I know that EFT tapping, they kind of just stick to some very specific points. But really any point in the body can be tapped, and sometimes you, like in Qigong or Tai Chi classes, you're running your hands along the meridians to wake them up and to get some of that energy. And so really you could tap anything, any acupuncture point in the body, or organs, do like a kidney organ tap sometimes in Qigong warm-ups. So yeah. So it was really inspiring for me too to put this together. And so let me share my screen so you guys can sing the song with me. Let me find this again. Here we go. Okay. So originally it was this poem, like I said, from Rabindranath, and I'm so sorry if I'm butchering it, Tagore. And it was just such a beautiful song about death and parting. And so when we tap, I thought we could use this visual of at one point in the poem, he says, let the last touch of your hands be gentle like the flower of the night. So when we're tapping, we want to be very gentle with ourselves as we tap, and as we sing, actually, if you're tapping too hard, you're going to start getting like some strange vibrato in your voice. So it's kind of a reminder to be light as a feather. So it's just a very gentle tapping. And so the song, let me see if I can make this bigger. There we go. I want to make sure you guys see it. So the song, what we'll do is repeat each phrase like 3 times. So we'll start with that last bottom point and we'll stay on that point and we'll sing each phrase 3 times and then move up to the next point and then sing it 3 times, tapping while we sing, and then move up to the next one and then up into the last one. Does that make sense? You guys can kind of follow me. And it's just a really simple song. I mean, I'm still working out the melody, but it's more of almost a chant almost. So however it wants to come out and through you, you can speak the words or you can whisper them under your breath. But I think, voicing them in some form, whether it's song or chant or whisper, is going to be a powerful practice. And again, I can get these lyrics out to you guys later in an email so that you have it. And okay, so we're going to start, with that last point just above the breasts. And and don't worry about getting the points right. It's really all about intention. And your intention is here. So we got this. All right. So just follow along with me if you want. And we're going to start here. So it goes, peace, my heart. Peace, my heart. Peace, my heart. Oh, beautiful end. Oh, beautiful end. Oh, beautiful end. I honor you. I honor you. I honor you. Lighting your way. Lighting your way, lighting your way. Awesome. Yeah, we did it. Good job, you guys.
I think you could go through one more time.
Yeah? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Okay, let's do it again one more time. Yeah, and then also the other thing I was going to say, like, I didn't read this poem just because we had such amazing poets tonight, but there's a line where it says, stand still, oh beautiful end, for a moment and say your last words in silence. I bow to you and hold up my lamp to light your way. So that was the inspiration for the last couple of lines there. And so as we're tapping, I forgot about this, like, imagine that you're lighting these lamps. So you're lighting your way back to spirit and into the depths of these points, and like calling forth the medicine of these points. So that's like another visual that we can hold. So as you tap, you're like turning on those lamps. Okay, so here we go.
So could you just say, so the first one is Wild Land of Spirit Burial.
Yeah, here I can pull up my, so let's see. So
I
the
just
first
know the
one,
order
so
of the
spirit
land.
burial or wild lands of spirit. Yeah. It depends on the translator. There's different translations, but those are my two favorite ones for this point. And because they're translating a Chinese name for the point into English. And then the second one is Spirit Storehouse. And then that third point was Center of Elegance. And then the last one is that vital transfer to the palace treasury. Yeah. Oops. There you go. Yeah. So we're lighting the lamp. So we'll do it one more time together. Yeah. Okay. So we're starting with that last point right here between the ribs. Peace, my heart. Peace, my heart. Peace, my heart. Oh, beautiful end. Oh, beautiful end. Oh, beautiful end. I honor you. I honor you. Lighting your way. Lighting your way. Lighting your way. Beautiful, everybody. Yay. Yeah, so I can send this out to you guys if you guys want to, do it again on your own or pull it out next year for Day of the Dead next year. Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah, totally. I just think
Please.
it's such a beautiful practice. And you're calling forth your own spirit as you connect your spirit with the spirit of our ancestors and our loved ones that have passed over, and remembering to call upon them for guidance and support, and we're lifting those veils from the living into the underworlds. But also I think our spirit is very like pure, and it's just that like when we're going through life's struggles and challenges, it gets veiled, it gets masked, and our perception of spirit gets kind of clouded over. And so we just need to sometimes remind ourselves that it's all here. We're whole beings, and it's just waiting to be called back up, and we can remove those veils between us and spirit, and then between us and our loved ones and our ancestors. Yeah. Thanks for going along with the adventure with me, everybody. That was really an honor to share that with you.
Thank you so much, Lana.
Of course. And I'll send this out to you guys with a little diagram of the kidney channel later. Yay.